The sound of my wife's voice cut through the silence like a dull blade. "Mark, not tonight. I'm tired." Same words. Same tone. I'd heard them so many times that they didn't even sound like language anymore. Just a closing door. I sat on the edge of our bed, staring at the shadows cast by the bedside lamp. The air was thick with a faint scent of her lavender lotion, something that used to mean comfort, but now only reminded me how far apart we'd drifted. It wasn't about the act itself anymore. It was about what it meant, the slow erosion of connection, of touch, of being wanted. I turned toward her. "You're always tired, Lena." She sighed, pulling the blanket tighter. "I worked a double today. Can we not do this again?" My voice cracked, quieter than I intended. "Do what?" "Try to feel like I still matter to you." That made her sit up. "Don't guilt-trip me. You know what stress I've been under. You think this is easy for me." "No," I said. "But you stopped trying. You stopped caring." Her eyes flashed. "That's not fair." "Isn't it?" "Yes. I've been patient. I've been understanding. But every night feels the same, like I'm sleeping next to a stranger who flinches when I touch her." Her face softened for a moment, guilt flickering behind her irritation. "You're overthinking everything again. You always do this." That word, overthinking, hit like a slap. I stood, running a hand through my hair. "You know what? I'm done asking. I'm not begging for more intimacy anymore. You'll face the consequences." Her eyes widened. "What's that supposed to mean?" I didn't answer. I just grabbed my jacket and left. The front door clicked shut behind me, the echo hanging in the still night. Outside, the air was cool, carrying the faint smell of rain. I walked aimlessly, trying to calm the storm raging in my chest. Anger. Resentment. But beneath it all, fear. Fear that maybe I'd already lost her. I drove for hours, no destination in mind. The city lights smeared across my windshield like tears. I stopped at a 24-hour diner, sat at the counter, and ordered coffee I didn't drink. The waitress gave me a polite smile. "Rough night." I nodded faintly. "You could say that." I thought about going back home, apologizing, pretending everything was fine like I always did. But something in me had snapped tonight. When I finally pulled into our driveway around 3 in the morning, the house looked dark, except for the faint glow coming from the living room window. She was awake. I hesitated before going in, a knot forming in my gut. Through the glass, I could see her silhouette. She was sitting on the couch, phone in hand, leaning forward slightly, smiling. At that hour, who was she smiling at? I told myself I was being paranoid. But the longer I watched, the harder it became to breathe. I unlocked the door quietly and stepped inside. She didn't hear me at first. Her voice was low, warm, the tone I hadn't heard in months. "I miss that too," she whispered. Then a pause. Soft laugh. "Yeah, he won't be home for a while." My heart stopped. I took a step closer, and the floor creaked beneath me. She jumped, spinning around, the phone slipping from her hand and hitting the carpet. "Mark, you scared me." I stared at her. "Who were you talking to?" "No one," she said quickly, too quickly. "Just Laura. From work." I pointed to the phone. "Then call her back." Her face drained of color. "It's late." She's probably asleep now." "Call her," I repeated, my voice calm but trembling beneath the surface. She hesitated. "Mark, you're overreacting again." I bent down and picked up her phone. The screen was still lit, and for a split second before it locked, I saw the name on it. Daniel Red Heart. Something inside me went quiet, so quiet it scared me. "Who's Daniel?" "Yes." She looked away. "You don't want to do this right now." "I think I do." Her lip trembled. "He's just someone I've been talking to. A friend. A friend you miss at 3 in the morning." She closed her eyes. "It wasn't supposed to happen like this." I felt the blood rush in my ears. "How long?" 2 months, she whispered. "It started when we were barely talking. I was lonely. You were distant. I almost laughed, but it came out broken. So your solution was to find someone else to talk to instead of your husband? Tears welled in her eyes. You don't understand, he made me feel seen again. You used to do that, but you stopped. I turned away, gripping the edge of the counter just to keep from shaking. And what happens when he stops? You move on again. She started to reach for me. Mark, I didn't sleep with him. Swear. It was just emotional. It's over now. I looked at her, at the woman I thought I knew, and felt something collapse inside me. Emotional betrayal isn't lighter, Lena. It's just quieter. Sneakier. But it still kills. She started crying harder, the kind of crying that came from shame more than grief. I never wanted to hurt you. But you did. The silence that followed was suffocating. I walked toward the door. Where are you going? She asked between sobs. I told you what would happen if you kept pushing me away, I said softly. Now you'll face the consequences. Her voice cracked. What does that mean? It means I'm done fighting for someone who's already halfway out the door. When I stepped outside, the cool air hit me again, cutting through the haze of anger and heartbreak. I got in my car and drove until the horizon started to brighten. I didn't have a destination, just the hollow ache of knowing something irreversible had happened. The next morning she texted me. Please come home. I made a mistake. I'll do anything. I didn't answer. I let her sit with the silence for once. That afternoon she showed up at my mother's house, eyes swollen, voice shaking. I can't lose you, she said. I ended it. I deleted everything. I'll go to therapy, whatever you want. Just don't leave. I believed her. I wanted to. But something in me had changed. Love couldn't grow in the shadow of lies. I stood there, staring at the woman I once would have given my life for, and felt nothing but exhaustion. You should have thought about all that before you needed consequences to wake you up. Her tears came faster. Please, Mark. I brushed past her, whispering, I'll let you go. That's my consequence. When I drove away for the second time, I didn't look back. 4 years I'd begged for affection, for attention, for the smallest sign that she still cared. But in the end, the only way to get her to notice me was to disappear. And as the miles stretched between us, I realized the truth I'd avoided for too long. Sometimes the consequence isn't revenge or punishment. Sometimes it's simply learning to live without the person who made you beg in the first place.